Yo, Icon Nation. What it is, man, it's your boy Yerdy G.
It's your boy Nick. What's up, Icon Nation?
Jalen Talley, what's up?
And this is another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast. But we have a special guest with us tonight.
Who we got, y'all?
We have Jen of Pretty Sinister Effects
in the house.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Thank you for doing this with us. Trust me, we talked about it for a while, and it was like
we got
to get Jen on. So
well, I'm happy to do this with you guys. This is awesome.
So I guess the first thing we need to do, because everybody's been asking about
yes,
is we need to announce the winner of this giveaway. And Yerdy, you want to tell them exactly what the giveaway is again so that they know?
Yes. So the giveaway is an HHN giveaway. So first off, you get admission on us to any night that you choose of HHN, whether it's LA or Orlando. Also, you get a pre-selected shirt by us it's an exclusive HHN merch piece. So it might be Stranger Things, it might be The Last of Us, it might be Chucky. Never know.
So with that being said, we got these names and we have them in. We're using the hat or we're using the box?
We are using Spider-Man.
We're using the Spider-Man box, and the plan is that so that is fair. So y'all don't come for us and think we picking sides.
Right, we didn't cheat. All the names in here.
Here we go. We're gonna shake them up. The first name that gets picked, you get to attend Halloween Horror Nights on behalf of the Toxic Icon Podcast.
Drum roll.
Jen, we got? I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, me? Okay.
All right.
You see, she's not looking either.
Here we go. She's not looking. It's fair.
Oh, who's it gonna be?
We got.
All right. We got Samantha Wellman.
Yo!
Okay,
congrats, Sam. You have won
Yay.
one general admission ticket to Halloween Horror Nights.
All expense paid on Nick.
Not all the expenses. But look, regardless of if you want Orlando or Hollywood, we will get with you at a later date. We'll figure all of it out. Congratulations.
Exactly.
You have won the giveaway. Enjoy Halloween Horror Nights.
And just to make it fair to us, you cannot choose the money. If you cannot attend Horror Nights, you'll get the shirt.
Or
you will get the shirt.
You could give it to someone else.
We could. Nah.
It's all fair.
Yeah, because then it's gonna seem rigged.
But we will get in contact with you. We'll get it all figured out, and we'll do that this week so that you have enough time to plan the rest of your trip to the event.
Yes, and just to be clear, we are paying for one person's admission only and the shirt of your size.
There it is.
Congrats.
Congratulations. So with that being said, we got Pretty Sinister in the building.
Hello.
Please Jen, tell us about it.
Tell us how you got into haunting. How did it start? Because everybody has a story. You want to know your story.
I mean, I really don't have that heartfelt meant to be, or maybe it was very spontaneous. I was 20 years old. I had just gotten out of really rocky relationship. I had no confidence. I had just moved to House Springs, which is close proximity to Creepy World, and I heard an ad on the radio. And I had no business being there. I showed up after work from a law firm with heels on, stumbling on the paved ground and the gravel and looking ridiculous. We all stood in a circle, and they said, "Be scary." And I didn't know how to be scary. I mean, I didn't grow up on horror movies at all. It was Jim Carrey and Robin Williams. I didn't have any
came from a completely
no
different...
inspiration, nothing. I just showed up. I don't know what pulled me there. I don't know what made me think, yeah, I want to do. No, I don't know. But I never left, and it became my life very quickly. Yeah, so that's my story. When it came to my turn to be scary, I just screamed. And I guess that worked. Because 15 years later, I have a lot of my life has so much to do, or where I am now, with showing up that day, which is crazy, actually.
because everybody has one start. And then when you get there, you never know how it's going to go from there. Like some people come, they audition for 5 minutes and they decide that it's not for them. Some people come audition for that 5 minutes and like all of us, they're there a decade or two later. You know what I'm saying? Like it varies depending on the person. I think that's pretty cool.
So I'm guessing that's how you and Mike met.
Yes, that's how I met my husband. He was the
You
manager
knew we were going to
there.
ask about it, right? We had to ask.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe he was pulling me there. I don't know. I mean, we were friends for several years before we were a couple. But yeah, he was the manager at Creepy World for a few years, and that's how we met. And then he went to run Lemp and took all of my friends with him. So I followed him and went to Lemp for a couple years, which I personally, that was one of my favorites, working at a real haunted house.
I was just going
That's
to
when I
ask,
met
what
Mike.
was that experience? What was that like down there? What was the difference between Limp and Creepy World?
I mean, I loved Creepy World. I was put in a little scare box, and really, like, a lot of people hate on scare boxes like they're easy, but it's a guaranteed scare. It's a good scare. And me not having any experience, like, I'm so thankful I was put in my little scare box and I got to drop the window, and then I had my little door that I would throw open and chase people down the hallway of the trailer haunt. You know, that was my home. I loved it there. And I probably wouldn't have left if I didn't need to follow my friends that I had made, because the second you get to a haunted house, you've just made 30 or so friends. Like
yeah.
you
Just
suddenly
like
have
that.
a whole new
It's hard
family.
to bounce out and go try something different
Yeah.
because you want to bring everybody with you, but you know you can't bring everybody with you, and so it's hard, especially if it's got that family aspect, like most haunted houses do have. That's definitely hard. That's definitely hard.
Yep, I'm going to Limp this year.
Lemp is cool. Lemp
Yeah, you
Lemp
always
really
say that,
feels
but you don't.
haunted. It's a whole unique experience there. I love doing makeup there too, like being the makeup artist at Lemp. That's when I branched out and harassed Mike for an entire summer, like doing makeup on a
gotta learn
a
somehow.
mannequin head and sending him photos via text, like, I want to be your makeup artist.
So with that being said, like you bring up makeup, you work at Creepy World, you work at Limp. I'm not exactly sure how it goes, but from the conversations we've had, where does Raven's Curse come into play?
Well, my husband started, my Killian, he started working for Pale Night Productions.
Right.
And it was about 3 years later that they built and opened Raven's Curse in Centralia, Illinois. So, of course, I went there to, run it with him and do the makeup, which was truly, truly amazing. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was in a warehouse that used to make band uniforms. And we legitimately lived there for 5 years during the season, which is very unique. Like you don't hear about that, but it was so far from Florissant that Friday we'd pack up the dogs and pack up our lives and just live there for the weekend. Yeah.
Did you all draw some pretty big crowds there? Did you have some pretty busy
I would
nights?
I would say big for the area. We really were in the middle of nowhere. And I feel like that was our demise, is as much as people knew about it and how amazing the show was. I mean, Kit Polly and my husband, Mike Killian, like they are amazing builders and creators, and they made such a unique attraction. Yeah, people just didn't want to drive that far, I don't think.
So the real estate is what pretty much ended things.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a good spot though, and the rent was good, and the building was good, and the vibe was good, and
it was in such a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we as the people that lived there loved it. We had a little coffee shop we would frequent that, sponsored us. There was a restaurant across the street that we would go after the haunt closed and had like the most amazing grilled cheese. So like we were at home.
I would have been there all the time when we got done.
It was great.
No doubt.
The whole thing was great. And I mean, there was a shower there. There were rooms in front of in the entrance of the building. Yeah. So like we were living in a pop-up the first 2 years, but then when we cleared out those rooms, we legit, like, we had Kip and Ashley and their cat, and then their daughter. We had our daughter and her boyfriend and her 2 cats. We had the whole
And y'all just
family.
moved in and made it happen.
Yeah, the owner's parents had a trailer outside. They ran the
That's so
ticket booth
cool,
and
man.
tore the tickets. So I gained an immediate family from
Right.
So,
living there.
is
and
that how you
working
met
there.
Kip at their Raven's Curse, or did you know them before then?
Kip used to work at the Darkness
Yes,
for
he did.
years.
Right.
Okay.
For
Kip was
years.
at Darkness
Yeah.
for a while.
And then, Kip ran Pale Night and Mike went to work for Pale Night for 8 years. I mean, now obviously we're back at Blacklight Attractions. I always forget the
That's
company
crazy.
name.
Kip showed up when I was 17.
So it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy about that is that you bring up Pale Night. You have your own business within the haunt industry.
Yeah, just small.
Tell us
business.
a little bit about that and how that
Huh.
started.
Big.
Well, like I said, I started doing my own makeup, and it was kind of I don't want to say out of necessity, but it kind of was. The makeup artist at Creepy World, John Ives. Do you guys know him?
Yeah,
Yes,
John
love
Ives.
Johnny.
He's
Shout
a
out to
great,
John.
yeah, he's a great makeup artist. The problem was I was showing up right before we opened. So he was kind enough to do my makeup when he probably shouldn't have. He probably should have given me a mask and sent me on my way. But he did my makeup, and it left me wanting more. Like, I wanted better makeup.
Right.
I wanted to get there on time. So I wanted to do my own. And another actor, Joe Ulosis, do you remember him?
I do remember Joe.
I remember Joe.
He taught me like the bruise wheel basics, like how to apply latex, where to put the blood, things like that. So at that point, I was teaching myself. So when we moved to Lamp and I just decided I was going to be the makeup artist, I was teaching myself. And back then, there weren't a whole lot of tutorials on YouTube. I
There's
was just
tutorials
kind of
all over the place now.
Right.
yeah. But I mean, I was building on people's faces with mortician's wax, like heavy, heavy wax and like materials that don't go on faces, like fake nails to make teeth. And like, I was being real inventive.
You're right.
So then I learned to sculpt and I started making my own prosthetics. And that's kind of where I started my business. Because people were buying them. Like, I would go to Transworld and people really liked, because it wasn't just that I had prosthetics. A lot of makeup artists and a lot of artists make prosthetics, but mine had like a different style, I guess, and they were well made. Like, I pride myself on the thin edges, And then, do you guys remember that show Face Off?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Nick.
Face Off. Yeah.
So of course that was a huge inspiration, and I don't know if I want to say bugged me, but yeah, they would do this full body makeup, the chest, the arms, the hair, everything, and then they would stick those nail tips on their hands, and I'm like, why even do the nails? Like, you're not doing anything.
Right.
So I saw a need, a tiny little need, and I was like, I would really like to elevate a character with claws. And that's one of my favorite things about my company is that I make really, really weird claws for characters.
But I think that's cool because you saw a need for that, because you saw that there was attention to detail everywhere else. But when you get down to the fingertips, there's nothing. If you guys have not seen her booth at Transworld, MHC, Fear Expo, any of the conventions, you need to go check it out. She's got cool claws. I think my favorite thing was the pig hat that you made me, that unfortunately it just wouldn't, it wouldn't fit. We got to figure some things out, but I thought that was real cool. And I appreciate you for making that for me to wear that at the haunted house, because we all work at the Darkness Haunted House together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
And,
Darkness.
The toothbrush with the actual teeth on it.
Oh, I love that. I loved making
That's
that.
the one. Like that.
What?
You haven't seen that?
I'll bring you
that
one.
was really
Yeah,
cool.
man.
So I literally sculpted like the handle, and then I sculpted little teeth where the bristles go. It's lovely. And then I have different colors. I have glow in the dark ones, but the bloody one that's my best seller.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, that one, I think Hughie has one of those and uses it
Shout out Charlie.
outside in the line.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Charles
Charlie.
Hughie.
I'm sure he's watching right now. Shout out to
He
Charlie.
came
For
from
sure.
Ravens too.
He was at Ravens with
He
you
did?
all.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Jen, like, what's your opinion on, maybe not opinion, but how do you manage being an actor manager, but also keeping the passion for the haunt the same? Do you have to separate those, or can you do that together? Like, how does How does that work?
Well, keeping the passion, I mean, the actors inspire me. Like, I love when an actor gets into their scene and really finds their calling, their character, and they can tell me what they want out of their character. And I can help, distress a good costume, pick out some claws, pick out some prosthetics, make them a hat, make them a staff. Like, I love that, working together and, you know,
The
collaborating.
camaraderie of it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the actors inspire me as the manager. Like, you guys know I still get in costume, and I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't. I can't help
No,
it.
you should.
No, it makes it more
You-
fun. So
I love running
Tell
around
you,
with
like,
you
if
guys.
I just feel like actor managers as a whole across the haunted house community, if you hop in with your actors,
Yeah.
that inspires them to keep going.
Yeah, it inspires them,
Definitely.
and it's a new
Nice.
level of respect.
It
Versus-
really does. Like
Yeah.
Versus
we
just a
Guys.
body in the office that's telling you what to
Definitely.
do.
right, and
And
it's
it
like
shows them too that like they're they have your back exactly. Like, so
Right.
like
I
and
do
it's
have
and
your
it's
guys'
not
like
like
back.
you're
you
not
might
alone.
run it, but you act as well. You know what I'm saying? Like even that picture of all of us outside, that's an iconic
Yeah,
picture.
that's a
Like
great
and
picture.
that's
I
not
love
no
that
pun
photo.
intended because of the name of the
Yeah,
podcast.
great
Like
picture.
I love that picture because you hopped out there with us. Like it's probably what 1,000 people out there
Yeah.
that night.
It wasn't easy. I
It-
told you guys I'm shy.
No,
and,
yeah, you. So
and-
what's your opinion on the queue line then?
Well,
Tell
I
us
mean,
about
I
us.
haven't-
You said
Tell us about us.
I know you guys saw me the first year I was out there. You'd see me in my full character. You'd be like, "Hey, Jen, over here," and I'm like, "I'm about to head in." I'd be out there
Let
for
me get out
2
the
minutes
way.
because it's so different. Like, you're in the haunt, you can hide behind things, you can scare and reset. You've got no light, like the lighting. It's dark in there. I have so much to hide behind and reset. And out in the queue, you're under a spotlight and everybody sees you have nowhere to hide. I have nowhere to reset. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I thought I would never get into it. But I guess the switch flipped last year because I loved it. And I don't really know what changed other than just
You just have to go out there.
you just have to go out there
Yeah.
and you just have to be your character, and everyone just ate it up. Like, they just want to do TikToks of you and
Yep.
take
Yeah.
photos and engage with you. You got to have those little quips, like
Yeah.
you have to be ready to engage, which I didn't used to be good at, but it's
Uno.
so fun.
But it's hard.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so fun. Like
Yeah.
this one guy, he said that, the way I walk with my giant pumpkin staff, he said, I walk like I have a stick, up my butt. And I said, well, it sounds like from experience. And I was so like proud of myself for just because I'm not always quick with the responses. But that made him giddy.
No, it
that
probably made his night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, she got a little sass to her.
Yeah, but it's so fun out there. I commend you guys for having
No,
the
thank you.
confidence
Thank you.
every single night and just being so amazing every single night and on your mark all the time.
It's not easy,
Yeah,
especially
No.
if there's a night where we
It's-
all aren't there, but there are those nights where we all are out there and we all are firing off all cylinders. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I'm feeding off Yurdy, he's feeding off me. Then we
Mhm.
see Jalen doing something wild on the other end of the line. Now we
We see
feeding off
Wilson.
that.
Wilson
Shout out to
climbing the
Wilson.
Yeah,
He's
shout out
building.
Will.
out there like everybody has the different things they could do. Like Jalen can hop over the stanchions out there.
Oh.
I can't hop over the
I could
stanchions out
never.
there. I can't do it. Like y'all be chasing somebody, and I will go walk all the way around to make sure I
Yeah,
don't
I'll see you
fall.
on the other side.
Yeah, you just go. You don't hop over. But yeah,
Nigga,
no.
like, all right,
I'm
y'all.
always-
Yeah, man. I'm not. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, y'all can.
I'll see
have
y'all in
that.
5
Everything.
minutes.
Yeah.
Or like one night, I really embarrassed myself outside last year. One night, I didn't fill up the chainsaw, and it was like, when I went out there, and I was out there trying to start it, like I'm giving my body more of a workout than the crowd is getting a show from me. And then eventually I got it to start, and it started up for like maybe half a second, and then it died.
Oh,
And the whole crowd was laughing at me. Cameras, everybody laughing at me. And this one dude in the crowd looked at me and he was like, "Hey, ain't got no gas. You need some gas."
Trying to help you out.
I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go sit in the back for a while and
But
rethink
they
my
were
decision.
They were still entertained.
Oh yeah, no,
so
they
you
were.
still did the job.
They gotta laugh.
And what's
Yeah.
crazy is that clip of me running out of gas was all over TikTok that
There's
night.
a clip. Oh, God. Yeah.
It was everywhere. I don't know where the clip is now, but I was like, I don't even want to save this clip, man, because I like the clips where I look good out there. Not this one, but people laughed, people enjoyed it, and that's the big part. You got to entertain people.
Yeah.
So that's it. Because what I did do, I went back, I got some water, and then I ended up filling it up with gas, and then I came around the backside. And I came out and dropped the entire line by myself. Like, I know Patty was yelling at me because it went up toward the street, cars coming. Like, I was like, yeah, I had to come back and get my revenge.
Had to get him.
I had to get my revenge.
Got you now.
So that's, I mean, you just got to entertain. That's the biggest thing.
Sometimes it's worth it to get yelled at, though.
It is.
I feel like if you got yelled at,
you did your job.
Not good, but you did do your job.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dang, if you got yelled
did
at.
something right.
Shout out to Mike once again. I know you enjoy picking up the gates when we knock him over. Also.
Right. Shout out to Kayla for yelling when we knock over the gates.
We can't help it.
Yeah,
we can't help it.
It's gonna happen.
Jalen, what's your favorite part about working outside?
Chasing people, exactly. I mean, or hopping over the barricades, and also if they just want to talk to them too. So
yeah.
I think my favorite is just, I mean, more so than like getting in TikToks, taking pictures, and doing things like that. When little kids come up to you and want a picture with you instead of scaring them,
that too, yeah.
They might already be terrified of you. So, and I learned this from Charlie, but he'll take his glove off and just show them his regular hand.
Yeah.
When you show them that, they just lock in, and they'll come back around and give you a high five if they made it through the haunted house. Their parents might have not had a great time in there. Exactly. They come out crying, but this kid's night is made, and that's
one of my favorite.
Love that. I really love that.
I had that last year. Was a girl, she didn't want to go through, and her mom was like, I'll go through with you. So now I've walked them through the entire haunt, and then she loved it. She was like, instantly, she loved it. And then the mom even gave me 20 afterwards after that.
You
You're getting tipped
you
out
came
here,
up.
man.
And I said,
$sign Jalen Talley on Cash App.
I said,
Can you cash at me?
I'm like, because she was like just proud, and just happy that, I did that. And then I made her night too. So.
Right. Yeah. Jen, is your... Well, you already were about to say something. I'm trying to cut you off. My bad.
No.
You good?
I'm chilling.
All right. Your pumpkin character.
Yeah.
I feel like, and we've all worked together for a minute now, so we've seen a lot of your characters, but I feel like that's the one that you enjoy the most. Is that true? Am I a little off? Like, where are you with? Do you have a name for that character?
I don't have a name. The promo photo you guys chose, doll face. A customer named me. That one was purely accidental. I started it years ago and then finished it, and it kind of came together with the hair that I created. That's my favorite character because it just looks so good. I don't really need to do much. I don't need to sell it much.
No,
but with the pumpkin character, I do have to do a lot because she's kind of cute. She's not very spooky.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about what you guys think, but she's not very spooky. Like, I've got the long nails, but I've got the crazy staff that I tried to make creepy, but the pigtails and the little pumpkin face, I don't know. I feel like I have to do a little bit more to be spooky, scary. I like how it came together, though.
I don't know. I love how it came together. I think more so than anything, it's just hard to like find the fine line between, like you said, like cute and spooky.
Yeah, I mean, my company name is Pretty Sinister, so I always pride myself on still being pretty or cute and creepy. I like combining things, but yeah. So I get a lot of scares in that.
That's all that matters.
When I look at it, I'm like, she's too cute. I need to like.
Cute's not bad though, because it gives you an advantage because they don't expect you to be scary.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's right.
And then when you do get them, it's like, oh, you got me. Or everybody in the crowd's laughing at them. Ah!
I think that goes back to the entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Like, you even entertained me without trying to. Like, I wasn't the target. But, and I'm gonna put you on blast for a second, Jim. I love you though. But like when the pumpkin seeds kept falling off your staff, Jen went through it last season, man, trying to perfect the staff. But like the seeds just kept falling off, and I was like, you should just go out there and let them fall off.
Yeah.
Because if people can follow the seeds, and then next thing you know, they'll walk right up on you. You turn around, you might drop 1 million people right there without trying.
Like there's your little pumpkin babies.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, it's all about trial and error.
Yeah,
Like, I
I've
mean,
made some other staffs since because I got, such good reviews, and those hold up a lot better, but I'm
right?
still gonna use that one this
Because you're
season.
3D printing now, right?
I am well, my husband is.
Okay, Mike is 3D.
So,
Okay,
yeah, he's created a few 3D printed things, um, mostly for our staffs, but I'm proficient in sculpting. That's I'm a great sculptor, I would say, and
mm.
I'm like an okay painter. So those are my strong suits.
How does 3D printing work? I've always been
I don't
interested
even
in
know.
like,
My husband's got 2, 3 of them now, and I'll be studying, and I just hear the squeak, 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 squeak in the next room. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But there's a lot of, calibrating, and there's this program called uh, Tinkercad or something where you can like draw things up.
okay,
It would be great to utilize that one day and like 3D print some claws because I feel
yeah,
like the
that'd be cool.
material would be a lot lighter than I use resin right now. Like I'll sculpt the
Resin
claws.
is heavy.
My husband will make the
Yeah,
molds and then we'll pour resin, which you can make lighter. There's a material that you can use, but they're so small. There's not a lot you can fit in the mold. So,
right.
but yeah, so that would be cool one day to be able to do that, but like I said, I'm a good sculptor, but I can't draw, like, at all,
I
like,
can't either.
at all. So
I
I
went through
can't
a phase,
sketch
but
my ideas,
Man,
which
you can just
no,
until
no, I
you
just
know until you perfect it, just like a 5-year-old.
no, they look like stick figures, like the worst. So when I have inspiration or an idea, I have to like write it down very descriptively. And sometimes I'll look back at my notes and be like, I have no idea what I was trying to do there. And just I wish I could draw. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of stuff like Tinkercad is really knowing how to draw rather than sculpt.
Just don't use AI.
Yeah, I mean,
No AI. AI is
I
taking
can't
jobs
even.
away.
It's taking over.
yeah,
Well, I
I'm hearing a
mean,
lot about
like
that.
it's crazy because when we all started in the hunt world, I mean, some of these things weren't even a factor. Like you couldn't even use some of these things, like m- marketing for your own character for your haunted house without a TikTok, an Instagram. Like where it's at now is crazy. Where it's at
Yeah,
now, QR codes everywhere. Like I remember when Larry used to have the Scarefest coupons and emos all over the place.
Yep.
yeah.
The $3
And the
off on
$3 off.
Sunday.
See, yeah.
And I don't even know if that's I mean, I know we still have the coupons, but I don't know if that's even a thing like that
You
anymore.
don't see him at Johnny Brock's anymore,
No, he
right?
just
No, you
has
don't see him at Johnny
he just
Brock's
has the
no more.
discount codes that he sends out in emails.
Mhm.
Right. So now it's all, email based, but like that just used to be crazy. Like remember when he had the
$13 tickets.
oh, that
Well,
sounds like a
price
1
has gone
a.m.
up.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
price has gone up twice.
Multiple times. Went from like 13 to 15 to 18 to 20. And is it 30 now or is it 25?
It's not 25 anymore. It probably is 30
I think
now.
Yeah,
so.
last I checked, it was 25, but I think it went up again.
And then you got the
5
straight to the
minute
front.
escape.
That's like $60 straight to the front.
Oh yeah, the immediate access.
Yeah.
Shout out to Titus. How many of those does
Oh,
he have to
gosh.
deal with every night?
Remember
Like,
Patty chewed him out.
Yeah.
And let somebody in free.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
I don't know.
I don't know what
No,
happened.
she said she had a ticket, so
You ain't scared
No,
to
but
Titus?
that's crazy. That's another thing about Q line acting though, is the people that try to tell you that they have a problem because they think
Yes.
you can get them in. It's just like I can't.
Yeah, I can't do
I
anything.
can't do nothing for you.
Ain't my problem.
And people be like, oh, well, because this girl, she came up to me and she was like, I'm Larry's attorney. And I was just like,
Okay.
Congratulations.
all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, you guys' number?
Okay.
Right, you can call him.
She was like, no, I need to talk to Larry. Is he here? I said, no, he's not here. And she was just like, okay, where is Patty here? I said, yeah, she's here. So I went and got her. And then Patty was just like, I don't even know who that is. Next thing I know, like 10 minutes later, yeah, she was trying to get in the hunt for free. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, she
Wow.
just buy the ticket, y'all. Buy the ticket.
The show's
Right.
worth it.
Yeah.
It is.
I know the
It's worth
actors are
it.
good.
We're going to give you a show before you even get inside.
Yeah.
I'm hopping in your car.
And you know what's
Yeah.
crazy about the way we act out there? We've actually toned it back a lot.
Yeah, because
We
there's
really
too many
have.
rules.
Yeah.
Jen, it was like right before you came back.
Like, we couldn't go in the parking lot no more.
Yeah.
Probably my fault.
We couldn't chase him down the street anymore.
Oh, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I chased some people all the way down to like in the Soulard one night,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize because I had my mask on and I was just I looked up and I was on Sydney Street, like all the way
Oh,
down there. And I was
geez.
like, dang, I got to turn around and walk all the way back through Soulard. Like I didn't just chase a group of teens all the way down through here. Like that, we've really toned it back a lot. So what was y'all's favorite? What's you guys' favorite hunt season ever so far? If you had to put a year on it,
I would
18.
18.
Definitely 18. 18 was ridiculous.
For me, I would say just last year because that was my first year as an icon, and I've always wanted to do that and being out there with you guys. So I would say last year was.
And you blended right in too, bro.
Yeah.
No, Jalen, yeah, you did your thing. Like, and then once Jen gave you the shovel and then the tool belt, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Because that's the biggest thing about being out there. My first night outside was horrible. I'll never forget it. I went out there. I used to work at Honda. I was a detail guy, and I got off at 6 o'clock, shot downtown, just threw on a pig mask and whatever costume they threw me in. It just wasn't it. They just needed me in something to get me out there. And then when I got out there, I come around the corner. I'm like, I've been waiting on this moment for like 8 years, bro. I've
Yeah,
been
you
trying to
gotta
get
work your
outside.
way up to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I come around the corner. There's like 800 people with cameras out looking at me, waiting
Just
on me to
ready
do
for you.
something. Man, I was like, I don't think this is for me. Although I still made it through that night, but
Yeah.
it was bad. I knew I wasn't going back out there the next night. They ended up putting me back out there the next night, and I just started experimenting with costumes, and I evolved from like this Walking Dead kind of zombie. But I didn't like being a zombie. I didn't like doing the zombie walk. It's not. I wanted to do something more intimidating. Like I wanted to do something more, just like aggressive almost. And so like then I became like the pig from one of the Saw movies, and like honestly with my size and everything, I just feel like that's what works, and that's where I'm comfortable.
You know what? Icons. I appreciate Jeremy for bringing icons to the darkness, because at first it was only us section leads who would go outside, and even then, like Jim Kelly would yell at us, "Why are you outside? Why are you outside? Why are you outside?" And we like, "Well, Gary's outside," and he was technically the true icon at the darkness. He was the only one.
Yeah, because he didn't go inside.
Yeah, he would say fresh meat before the first group came in, but he was the true icon of the darkness. Then once Jeremy came, which was the year I left and went to Limp,
right?
That's when I started noticing that's a real thing.
Right.
Now there's like different groups of icons. You've got the Sliders, which is huge.
Shout out to Janitor Steve.
Yeah. Steve, Sammy Taylor, my Creepy World people, Grace Carroll. Like I'll be honest, I can't slide. I tried to learn how to do that, and like within 3 minutes, I was like, y'all can have that.
Maybe in my 20s, I would have gave it a try. Not in my 30s.
Too old to slide.
When I learned, they just said we're just going to drop to our knees and get up, and then drop and get up.
Nope.
We're not going forward, just drop. Did it like 4 times, and I was just like, nah, I don't.
I can't wait to go to the slider training. It's coming up. I'm so going.
Are you going?
I'm not participating. I'm there for support, but I'm not. No way.
I think I'm gonna pull up and cheer on from the sideline.
Yeah.
The chainsaw, I'm all about that. I have a blast with that.
No props.
Sammy used a chainsaw and would slide. That's intense.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's too much. No way.
Crazy. That like Sammy and I was probably one of my favorite memories from being out there is when we used to chainsaw battle.
Yeah.
And when she told me she was going to be doing travel acting this year, I told her, like that's great, happy for you, but like, who am I going to chainsaw battle with now? I'm like, because Yurdy is not taking another chainsaw. I'm not
taking no props, man.
I'm like, Jalen might take it, but Jalen might not want to do that. He hasn't been outside yet, so he doesn't know what he wants to do. So like, shoot, it's all on me. And what happens the first night I go out there by myself with it? I run out of gas in front of 1,000 people. I was like, come on, man. But like, that's part of it. But I have a blast out there. Like, whether it's getting Titus in them to help us set up people to scare them outside the haunted house, any of that stuff, man. Like, you live for that. Because Titus will help us set people up. They're not even supposed to be involved in any of what we got going on. Titus, Willie C, otherwise known as Sweet Willie, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sweet Willie, man. Like, any of that stuff, man.
Man, Jen, I'm curious though.
Uh-oh.
Since you are the manager,
Yeah.
What is your biggest pet peeve from vets?
Pet peeve?
From vets only, though.
I don't have any pet peeves about vets. I have pet peeves about customers.
Because you know,
we can go there too.
Yeah. You know, I'm just asking because you know sometimes vets, the really seasoned ones, they'll like, I won't say break rules, but they'll kind of push the envelope a little bit.
Push the line.
Well, that kind of goes back to the whole management discussion. Like, how do you become a manager at a haunted house? I know if anyone were to ask me how to become a manager at a haunted house, I would say show up.
Yeah.
Show up, because I have people approach me every season. They're like, "Oh, I want to be a zone lead next season. I want to do makeup." Great. But those are the same people that aren't even committing to half a season. They're not showing up on time. If you want to manage a haunted house, you have to be there. You have to be there, and you have to be there early. And you have to do the things that not everybody wants to do. Like Brian Ferguson, you guys know him, right?
B-Ferg.
So he started at Ravens with us, and I feel like this happens a lot. And I feel like it's almost like people think they just are supposed to act cocky immediately to gain respect. But I don't want to work with anybody like that. I like the humble people and the kind people. There's room for everybody in this industry. So I don't like it when I first meet somebody and they're just automatically like, I'm too good to like show you my skills or be your friend or collaborate. Like there's room. So I feel like
I like where this is going right now. I feel
like
really
there's
do.
There's no reason for that. So he showed up at Ravens having worked at another haunt that kind of acted like that. And I don't want to say that I had any part in his growth. I watched him grow, and he's really grown to be a great actor and a great human being. But he was showing up early, and he was taking out the trash in the makeup room for me, and he was doing all those things and being there every single night and being there early. And that's what it takes if you want to do, be the makeup artist, if you want to run a zone, because I can't work with a zone lead that's not there. Like, it's such a scramble to get somebody that is so in tuned with their zone and all of their actors and be there every night. So I'm thankful that we have amazing zone leads right now. But we might need one this season. And whoever it is needs to be there every night.
Don't look at me.
But yeah, everyone that approached me last year about it, like they weren't even, and I get it. Like it's tough, like committing to every night, but we're open like 20 days. You got a year to plan.
Easy though.
And if you really want this to be your thing and you really want to like, move up, that's my biggest piece of advice is show up. Show up early. Like if you want to see me do makeup and learn from me, I'm doing makeup a couple hours before we open because I'm not doing makeup right before we open. So you need to be there to watch me.
I think that's the best piece of advice for real. You got to be there.
Yeah.
If you show up, if you show face, that shows to the seasoned vets and the management, the higher ups, everybody that's there that, okay, this person is serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when a few years back when Jeremy was running it, he said that he wanted, because we all of us were knocking at the door trying to get outside. He was like, he only had one spot. So he said, I want everybody to email me with a character. Come up with a character. Take a couple days. Don't even do it tonight. Email me with the character. Give me a description. Tell me how this character became that person. Really detail it. Tell me
full
who
backstory.
He is. What does he look like?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I sent him, but I went home and really thought about it. Like the driving home that night from the hunt, thinking about it. The next couple of days of school, thinking about it. I emailed him. We ended up not putting anybody out there, but it's just the fact that the ethic was there, the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be there. You gotta be there. You gotta love doing it. And that's what I honestly tell people that about coming outside, because people always approach us about coming outside.
Every year you've got a group for me.
Yeah.
Every year you approach me and you're like, hey, I've got these 3 people. They really want to go outside. Yeah.
There's always,
it's not that
but then
easy.
they're not always showing up.
You got to be there, or if you go out there and you see what it is and you figure out that this isn't for you, that's something different. You know, when I was trying to go outside, they were telling me outside is different. Like you think you got it, and I don't know. I might have had a little bit of cockiness going on at the time, but I was like, man, I don't care. Like I'll be all right. Just give me a night. Give me a night. That's what I used to say. Give me one night. You'll keep me out there the rest of the year. Give me a night. Nah, man, it's different. It's different. And I thought that was like BS. I thought they just didn't want me out there. And then when I finally got my call to go out there and I went out there, I realized they weren't lying to me at all. Like it was serious, but it's all
because it's more work.
It's like
it's constant back and forth. It's not just this little 6x4 room or this little box. You have to constantly improvise all night,
and you're not getting. And people are constantly watching you too. So
constantly watching you.
You like can't get flustered at night.
Yeah, like what do you tell? You know, you got 2 people next to you to your left that are terrified of you, but you've already scared them. But you got 13 people to your right who don't want nothing to do with you.
They just been watching you.
What do you do? Because you've already scared these 2 people. You got 2, these 13 to your right that want nothing to do with you. They just want you to walk away. But you got 2 more in front of you, and you got a slew of people behind you who are tripping off you, and they think you don't even realize they're there.
You just got to weave through it and
who
just
boom,
boom,
boom, you know
boom,
what I'm
boom.
saying? Like you have to think about all of those things. You won't scare everybody. I don't scare everybody. Like sometimes I'll walk in line and photobomb as many people as I can.
We bringing back the dance battles, Nick?
We can, man. You got.
I was out there dancing when I was a tooth-colored ballerina. I was out there dancing ridiculously because I really don't have any training in ballet.
I mean, one night I went out there and hit the electric slide, and I thought I was about to get roasted, but it worked.
I mean, if you make them laugh, like that's if I can't scare you, you got to make them laugh. I love making people laugh. They're just not expecting it. They're not expecting it at all.
They just think it's full aggression, like 100% of the time you are trying to scare me. No, not 100% of the time. If I know I got you, I'm coming for you. I'm getting ready to scare you for sure. Because my favorite, I love standing up against the wall out there and acting like I'm not doing anything. But I know this lady, a couple 100 feet from me, is looking at me. She's been looking at me for 20 minutes. She's just waiting on me to move. And I may move and like act like I'm going her way, and then I go the other way. Don't worry about it. I'll catch you before you go in the door. I'll catch you when you scan your ticket too.
You'll never know your next
slap
move.
That door,
boom, right there. Like it's all about the timing, all about how to read the room.
Hey.
People I don't think people realize that, because don't sleep on working inside the haunt either. Like that's not an easy task either. You know what I'm saying?
We have to work harder, but they have it harder because it's so hot.
It's so hot. Yeah. It's dark. It's hard to keep up on cues. If it's so loud in there, you might miss a cue. It's foggy. There's so many animatronics and props.
Some of those looking at you.
Some of those scare boxes don't fit people anymore, and so it's
for real,
tight fitting, and
you got to be on it. And it's all about.
So I got a question.
Okay.
You remember back in the day when every night was cut night?
I remember, this is so crazy. I remember when I was at Creepy World, and again, I don't think I had it right away. So it was kind of amazing that I did my one little scream and I got to act every night. But at Creepy World, we had people waiting there until we opened. And Mike would go out there and say, "Sorry, we're full." Every night. Every night we would have tons of people. It's not like that anymore.
Mm.
And as far as like what I understood to be cut is like, they would walk through, and if you didn't have it on your first night, you had to go. Now, it's a little bit different now. Like, I'm honestly willing, like, if you don't hack it the first night, I am more than willing to give you another night, because there's so many things you have to get used to. You have to get used to the heat. You have to get used to being in the dark and all the different kinds of customers. Like,
find your voice.
Yeah, you have to find your voice. You have to find your character. So I would definitely give it another night, but usually people are more than willing to let me know, hey, it's not for me, and tap out before I can even walk through the first time that night. And they're like, yeah, I can't do it. So they're more than willing to just kind of, and I will tell you this, like a lot of people will like force their friends into going because they don't want to show up alone, Mm-hmm. And then that friend is there and hating their lives.
Can't stand being
so
there.
I gotta say, like, I know I'm not the only one that's like still very, very shy and reserved, because every time I post about auditions, I'll have vets in my DMs like, "Hey, I don't need to like audition again, right? Like, I don't want to."
Oh yeah,
And I'm like, "No, I
yeah.
mean, no, like, but there's a lot of shy people in this industry, but when we get in there and we find our, find our niche or whatever,
That's the outlet.
we're different." Yeah.
I prefer friends to work together because they already had chemistry with each
Yeah,
other.
if they're both into it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like if the chemistry is there, it's definitely there.
Because
Yeah.
you put two friends in the same room or in skirt boxes right next to each other.
Yeah.
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, if they know
dream
each other
team.
and they know, how to work with each other, absolutely.
That's real. Like you said, just people finding their outlet. Some people, I mean, you see it especially at the conventions because there is not a lot of acting going on the floor. You run into another haunter from another haunted house and you say hey to them and they may be timid around you. I'm just like, no, like we guest acted together last, like it was all good. But nah, man, I was in full blown costume. Like you didn't see me like this. You didn't see me wearing what I'm normally wearing right now. Like that's something serious.
Yeah.
But that's just, that's just what comes with it is just there are people that are shy, timid, and then they get in the haunted house and find an outlet and keep going. There's some people that have been at the haunted house that were so good, I didn't want them to leave, but life kicks in and people have different things they have to do and they can't do it no more. But you remember Shariah?
Man,
I miss Shariah.
Shariah
She was, to be honest,
she was hard.
She was working that bungee.
One of my favorite actors I've ever had. I mean, she would kill it every day. I loved Shariah so much. I mean, she would. I would tell her, I'm like, every night I'd be like, "You're fucking amazing." You know that, right? I mean, you're so good.
She's never off.
Yeah.
She's always on. She hits that mark every time. The timing, I mean, she's jumping off of a bungee harness for those out there that don't know, off of a platform and landing perfectly to where she's not hitting anybody, and she bounces right back and lands perfectly, ever so softly. It's
That
always
ain't easy.
perfect. No.
I mean, people don't necessarily realize that that is not easy. The timing.
I miss her, but we got rid of that bungee and she was gone.
Yeah.
No, y'all got rid of the bungee and she was like,
that pissed her off.
That's the end of the road for me. I'm out.
Yeah.
I used to be scared for the person in the bungee. I just knew you'll get kicked. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a special person to be in that. Definitely.
It takes a special person to do anything in the haunt industry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mainly that.
Like even down to the people that just come to the convention and sell horror T-shirts like these. Like it takes a special kind of person because some of the things you hear in the industry, the way people interact with one another, it takes a special kind of person.
Yeah, it's like who just loves murder? Us.
I mean, people look at the haunt community and think that we are just some of the most like
psychotic people.
They don't get it. Yeah, but I'm like, nah,
it's a whole family thing.
It's a family thing. We are good people. Like we don't.
They think we're all Satanists.
Right.
But Patty invites me to church after Transworld. Like Kip and Ashley, they teach Sunday school and they make blood for a living. Like I don't know. Exactly. Like there's all kinds of walks of life at a haunted house.
Man. We just love Halloween. That's really what it is. But you can't just love Halloween without somebody thinking that, oh yeah, there's something wrong with you.
I mean, there is something wrong.
I mean, it is. It's,
Yeah, it's like any type of fandom though. Like you live for this. Like the people in the Star Wars community.
They live for that.
Yes.
The Harry Potter community. They live for that.
They're different.
Like we live for this.
And we get to be it for a whole month out of the year.
We get to be the villain in the movie.
Yeah. I just need more than a month. That's the only thing. But I need more than a month without themed events. I just want more than a month. Let's just roll it. Let's just go.
Yeah, I thought the themed events were cheese. Like I did not want to be involved, but there's just something about when we'd run through and there's just Christmas lights everywhere in a haunted house. It seems so cheesy, but I do like it. I mean, that's just personally, but
Larry gonna call me.
in other countries, like Mike has built haunted houses in other countries, and they keep them open year round because they don't celebrate Halloween.
What? Right. So it's just a year round attraction out there.
Exactly. So what do you guys think would happen if America did that. Like if we opened a year round, do you think we would get the patrons?
I think it'll kill the business.
Completely?
Yeah, because think about it. You have access to it anytime you want to, instead of this
That
6 to 8 week period.
Yeah. And you come yearly because you expect new things. But if it's open all year round, you're like, well, I've seen it. I don't need to go back for a couple years. You know, like I agree that we have the same people come every year, but they're in that vibe. They're in that mood because Halloween and fall and the leaves on the ground and pumpkin spice latte, and they're just there for it. But year round, delicious. Yeah.
I kind of feel like you can't do it 365 days a year.
Take it back to back to a full month in October every day.
Full month in October, and if we're being nice about it, and if we want to do it year round, first Friday of every month, or like the last Friday of every month.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
I remember back when I worked at Creepy World, Hell Week was not 1 week; it was two.
Hell
weeks. It wasn't just 4 days in a row. It was like the last half of the month.
Hell Week.
That's what I'm saying. Legit. Bring back a full month of October. Like these new kids, they think they got it tough now. I don't think a lot of them will last doing a full 31 days.
No.
That full 31 day slate is no joke. And like Jen, I mean, you and I, Jalen too, like we all know like being a college student at the same time is trying to juggle the hunt. It ain't easy.
It's like
I don't know what it takes, man.
Not a good idea.
Getting done with the haunted house at midnight, and then you got a 3 or 4 page paper due by 6 o'clock that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here I am. I'm still going to Uncle Bill's with everybody. Like I'm getting to go kick it with the whole crew, have a good time. So I get home about 4 o'clock. I got 2 hours to write this paper. Pulled it out.
It's only a month. It's your whole life for only a month. And as far as that's the thing about working in the industry full time is, I mean, my husband, he's there every day.
Right.
So you could break out and do something there and, build haunted attractions, but there's not a whole lot of opportunity to do the behind the scenes stuff year round. That's a very special, sought after thing.
And with, like you said, working in the industry full time with Pretty Sinister, does it kind of come in waves? Does it slow down? Does it peak? Like where is it right now? Like we're a couple months away from the season. Like where are you right now?
I mean, I do amazing at Transworld, and I'm so thankful that the biggest haunt convention in the world is in my backyard.
Right.
It's great. So I do very, very well at Transworld, and then I'll, do very, very well for the, couple months following Transworld, which is in the spring. So it's definitely not in season, but that's when the big industry people are doing the buying so that they can start building and set up. So haunt season does not end for me ever.
Right.
Like I love seeing those Facebook posts like so many days till Halloween. For me, like Halloween is when it's over for us. Like that's when that's the end. The last day that we're open sometimes. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I mean, for us, it's always Halloween 365 for us, but the cool thing about having this podcast platform now is that now we have something to work toward all year round. We have something that we could like put effort into all year round so that it's not this grueling stretch waiting on the haunted house to open. Now that's just a part of what we do. We added something else. You know what I'm saying?
It can be your full-time job because I see so many podcasts coming through trade shows. I have regulars that meet with me at my booth every year at trade shows and interview me. And they have shows that they put, up on weekly on YouTube, and they seem to do very well.
Yeah.
That they can, afford to go to all these trade shows all year round and make a business out of it. So
because people want to get other people's take on the haunt world because everybody's like the way they got into it is different. Everybody's thought process is different.
Yeah.
Literally everything is different. Like we hope to be broadcasting from Transworld soon. Like
you absolutely should.
Oh, we will.
We like it's
I'll see you at my booth.
In March.
We will be at your booth. No doubt about it.
Get some sugar fire.
For $20.
So expensive eating at the trade show. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Mac and
always. You gotta eat
cheese.
beforehand. Gotta eat beforehand. What'd you think of have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights?
Nope.
What?
Oh nah,
It's
Jen.
it's a treat. You definitely should
Listen,
go.
Larry Jen needs 3 nights off.
Yeah, I mean,
needs one
we're at the
weekend.
flagship haunt, so we're open more than the other haunts. Like, I don't have a day. I don't have a
Yeah.
day. So, like, to go all the way to Florida, I would need more than a day.
So Larry, October 5th through 7th, Jen won't be there. Mike will be in charge.
Yeah, we'll see how
She's
that
coming with us.
You getting a phone call at 3 a.m.
I mean, you guys invited me last year, and you said you even had room for me.
We
like,
did. We
Yeah.
had room. Like it
I
was,
was so sad that I couldn't go. But
it was
You
there.
need to go once.
I mean, that's the thing
At
that I
least
said
once.
about managing. Like, you got to be there every night. No.
Nah, yeah. Once you get in there,
I
it's
I mean,
no.
there could be a wedding at Horror Nights that you could attend.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Our first night back, we were in a wedding. We were literally, I couldn't miss
That's true.
that. So, yeah.
Yeah, look. You heard
And
that,
y'all
Larry?
were
She
in
got a
it. I
wedding
didn't
to go
realize you guys were
to in
in it.
Orlando.
Do you know how much crap I got for missing that? Oh my gosh.
Was that that was opening?
That was
weekend,
opening
wasn't it?
weekend. We were like, "Hey, thanks for hiring us."
And that's weird that like y'all caught so much for opening weekend because in reality,
not from the owners.
no, yeah, but
Yeah.
just there's no
Opening
crowd.
night
Like
trash.
you be hype all week long for opening night, and then you get there and see 10 people,
Yeah.
and when you go home, you're like,
I'm tired.
dang, I was excited for. I haven't seen nobody coming through the hunt in an hour. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, I get it though. Like we really have to be there for you guys. Like that's so important.
No,
so
yeah.
not being there, I totally get it.
I'm going out in the blaze of glory this year.
Since you're out of retirement again.
Don't get hurt this time. You already
Yeah.
just
This
whatever
Yeah,
you do,
is
don't
it
get
for
hurt.
please do not.
You just be retired for 11 months out of the
This
year.
is it. This is it.
You're just
Oh,
seasonal
don't-
employee, man.
Just
You're
don't
seasonal
say that
employee.
until it really
Until really, yeah,
This
exactly.
is it, y'all.
That's
This
what
the
he always
last
says.
dance, like Jordan.
When he told us he was coming back, I was like, because I told Yurdy, I tell him like twice every month, yeah, you'll be back.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm done. I won't be back.
And then
I
he does.
believed you.
But see,
I
I
don't know
had like
why.
my mind was made up that I was gonna come back when I said I was done, but I just wanted to see how long I could drag it out.
Yeah,
And then you were like,
just a couple.
you were like, are you sure? And Patty was like, well, you know, Mike, if you just got 2 nights in you.
2 nice turns to
And
a season
then-
real
Yeah.
quick.
And then I just happened to tell y'all, well, I think like 2-3 weeks ago or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And Patty was like, you turkey.
Yeah, man, because we knew you were coming back.
It's hard to stay away.
You
Like
can't
I
stay
want
away.
a break, and we kind of talked about it 2 seasons ago. We were like, man, we just want, we want to hand out candy. We want to go to other haunts. Like I have a few haunts that buy so much of my product. I want to see it in action.
It's just the music for me because the schedule is hectic.
Yeah.
Like last year, I blocked out my calendar to not do no shows in October. And this year, I don't have any shows in October this year.
As of now.
Nah, like
But
the
you're just gonna.
calendar's blocked out again.
Okay. Well, then we'll see you there.
So, Jen, what haunts are those that buy from you?
Fear on the Farm is
Okay.
one of my biggest, and I think they're in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
But
Okay.
also 13th Gate buys a lot from me. Like these are like big industry
No, these
people,
are-
so
yeah.
they come to my booth with like their representatives. Like it's so legit. And then like sometimes you'll see the owner, and I totally fangirl.
Mhm.
Like we were talking about some of the owners of the haunts before we started this today, and like I really fangirl over the 13th Gate because they will come, they'll just buy me out. They'll just buy all my prosthetics and be like, hey, I need like 4 more of those as soon as you get home, make them up and ship them out to me. So like that's where I want to go to
Yeah,
see,
buddy.
my product. I see my product in action because I'm, put it on you guys too. But,
Right.
to have people buy from me, like I want to go and see what they do with my stuff. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, man. Tonight was a good conversation. We got
Great
to know a little bit
conversation.
more
It was.
about you, Jen. How you got your start.
Yeah.
How you met my son-in-law, Mr. Killian.
But we seriously appreciate you for doing
Yeah,
this.
I
Yeah.
thank you so much. I mean,
Thank
it's
you for
like an
coming
honor
on.
literally having you on here
Well,
right
it's
now.
an honor
So
being here, you guys. Thinking of me.
And,
Thinking of
Yes.
me.
Yes, once again, guys, I am Yurdy G. This is Nick White. Jalen, and our special lovely guest, Jen.
Pretty Sinister in the house, and we out.
Don't forget, stay toxic.
Arr.